Peace and grace, beloved soul. Today your angels are whispering a message meant just for you. Can you feel it? That gentle nudge in your heart, that spark of hope. That's the universe guiding you toward blessings you've been waiting for. Doors are opening. Opportunities are arriving. Divine timing is aligning in your favor, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be in this moment. So take a deep breath, feel the peace, and open your heart to this divine guidance. If this message lifts your spirit, don't forget to comment, and subscribe to Holy Encouragement for more angelic words, wisdom, and guidance that speak directly to your soul. Your angels are waiting to bless you. Angels say, someone just took a leap of faith because of you. This will shake you. Listen closely, and do not rush past this moment. Before your mind wanders, before doubt tries to interrupt, pause, because this message has found you on purpose. Not by chance, not by accident, and not because of an algorithm. Angels are speaking now, and what they want you to understand may shift how you see your entire life. Somewhere right now, someone just made a decision they were afraid to make for a very long time. They stepped forward when fear told them to stay back. They chose hope when despair felt safer. They took a leap of faith. And angels say you were the reason. You may not know their name. You may never hear their story. But heaven knows the connection, and heaven does not make mistakes. Angels say you have underestimated the power of your presence. You thought you were just surviving. You thought you were just getting through another day. But in the unseen realm, your endurance became a message. Someone was watching not to judge you, but to learn how to keep going. They saw how you kept standing when life tried to break you. They noticed how you didn't quit, even when quitting would have made sense. They felt something shift inside them and thought, if they can do it, maybe I can too. And that thought, small as it seemed, was enough to change a destiny. Angels want you to understand this clearly. Your life speaks even when your mouth is silent. You didn't need a platform. You didn't need a microphone. You didn't need to be perfect. You only needed to be real. And that authenticity became a sign someone had been praying for. Right now, angels are asking you to stay present with this message, because what you're about to hear is not meant for everyone. It is meant for those who feel unseen, overlooked, or forgotten. Those who quietly wonder if their existence truly matters. If you've ever asked yourself, does anyone notice my struggle? Is my pain doing anything meaningful? Am I making any difference at all? Angels say this message is your answer. Someone had reached a breaking point. They were tired of doubting themselves. Tired of being afraid, not tired of waiting for permission to believe again. And then, in a moment they didn't expect, your example appeared in their thoughts. Not because you were loud, but because you were consistent. Not because you were perfect, but because you were faithful. Angels say that leap of faith they took has already begun a chain reaction, one that will circle back to you in ways you do not yet see. Heaven keeps records. Humans forget. Every tear you wiped away quietly. Every time you chose kindness when bitterness was easier. Every moment you kept going when no one encouraged you. None of it was wasted. Angels say what you thought was hidden was actually planting seeds. This message may feel emotional, heavy, or deeply personal, and that is because it is touching something sacred inside you. Something that has been waiting for confirmation. You were never invisible. You were never insignificant. You were never walking alone. Angels have been guiding your steps, even when you felt lost. And now they say, it is time for you to receive this truth without resisting it. Your life matters more than you know. Someone else's courage was born from your persistence. Someone else's faith was awakened by your survival. Someone else's future shifted because you did not give up. Let that settle in your spirit. This is not meant to inflate your ego. This is meant to heal your doubt. Because angels know how close you came to questioning your worth. If you are feeling chills, if your heart feels heavy, but warm. If something inside you is whispering, "This feels true," that is not imagination. That is recognition. Angels say, this message is only the beginning. What they reveal next will uncover why you were chosen, why your path has been difficult, and why the leap someone else took is directly connected to what is about to open for you. So stay with this message. Do not skip ahead. Do not turn away. Because the angels are not finished speaking. Angels say there are moments when prayers are not answered with thunder, lightning, or loud miracles, but with people. And you were one of those answers. Someone had been praying quietly, not even sure how to ask anymore. Their words were tired. Their faith felt thin. They didn't need another sermon or motivational speech. They needed proof that hope still works in real life. So heaven showed them you. Not the version of you that smiles for others, but the version that kept going when no one was watching. The version that endured disappointment, rejection, and silence without losing compassion. Angels say your life became a response to a prayer you never heard. They were asking, "God, show me someone who didn't give up." They were asking, "Let me see that faith is possible in this world." They were asking, "Please send me a sign." And the sign did not arrive glowing or perfect. It arrived human. It arrived flawed. It arrived honest. It arrived as you. Angels say, this is why your journey has often felt heavy. You are carrying more than your own story. You are unknowingly becoming evidence for someone else's miracle. They watched how you moved through hardship without becoming hard. They noticed how pain did not turn you bitter, how loss did not erase your kindness. Even when you felt weak, your consistency spoke louder than strength. You didn't realize it, but your obedience to keep living was answering a question someone was afraid to ask out loud. Angels want you to know something important. Signs are rarely dramatic. They are believable. If your life had been perfect, it wouldn't have reached them. If your story had been easy, it wouldn't have touched them. It was your struggle, your humanity, that made your example powerful. Someone saw you fail and still stand back up. They saw you wait without becoming hopeless. They saw you trust without seeing results immediately. And that did something inside their spirit. Angels say hope does not always enter loudly. Sometimes it slips in quietly through observation, through watching someone else survive. What you fear might destroy you. You may have wondered why your progress felt slow, why recognition didn't come, why answers seemed delayed. Angels say it's because heaven was positioning your life where it could be witnessed, not celebrated. You were not being hidden. You were being placed where someone could see resilience, placed where someone could see faith in motion, placed where someone could say, if they didn't quit, maybe I shouldn't either. Angels say that moment, the moment they decided to try again, was sacred. Heaven stood still as they chose courage over comfort, and you were part of that choice. This is why angels urge you to release the belief that your life has been ordinary. There is nothing ordinary about being used as a sign. You didn't need to speak to them. You didn't need to teach them. You didn't even need to know them. Your existence was enough. Someone's leap of faith was triggered by the way you kept walking forward while carrying invisible weight. They saw how you didn't collapse under pressure, even when you wanted to. Angels say you are more influential than you realize because your strength is quiet and your faith is consistent. That kind of faith travels far in the spiritual realm. And now heaven wants to reassure you. What you gave will return to you. The encouragement you never received, the support you wished for, affirmation you lacked. Angels say it is being prepared. But before it arrives, they want you to fully receive this truth. You are the answer someone prayed for, not because you are perfect, but because you are faithful. If this message feels personal, it's because angels are restoring your understanding of your own worth. Do not dismiss it. Do not downplay it. Do not say, it couldn't be me. Angels say humility is beautiful, that self-denial delays blessings. Accept what heaven is saying. You mattered. You still matter. And you are still being used. Angels say. There comes a moment when fear and faith stand face to face. One voice says, stay where you are. At least here you know what to expect. The other whispers, if you don't move now, you may never move at all. That was the moment someone reached because of you. They had been standing on the edge for a long time. Not on the edge of success, but on the edge of decision. Torn between what felt safe and what felt right. Between staying comfortable in doubt and stepping forward in belief. Angels say your life entered their thoughts at the exact moment fear was loudest. They remembered how you didn't have all the answers, yet you moved anyway. How you didn't wait until everything was perfect to keep going. How you stepped forward even when the one outcome was uncertain, and that memory weakened fear's grip. You may not have seen yourself as brave, but angels say courage often looks like persistence, not confidence. And that kind of courage is contagious. Someone thought they didn't know how it would turn out either, and they're still standing. That thought changed everything. Angels say faith is rarely born from comfort. It is born when someone realizes staying still hurts more than moving forward. The leap they took wasn't reckless, it was necessary. Necessary for growth, necessary for healing, necessary for alignment. And angels say that leap of faith wasn't just about them. It sent a signal through the spiritual realm. When they chose belief over fear, something shifted. Doors that had been closed loosened. Paths that had been hidden began to glow. Resistance in the unseen realm weakened. All because one decision was made in courage. Angels want you to understand the magnitude of this. Your influence helped activate a turning point, not just emotionally but spiritually. The moment they moved, chains they didn't even know existed began to break. Patterns that had followed them for years lost their power. And heaven took notice. Angels say every leap of faith creates a ripple, and ripples always return to their source. That source was you. This is why you may soon feel a shift in your own life without immediately understanding why. A sudden sense of clarity, a door opening unexpectedly, a burden lifting quietly. It's not coincidence. It's circulation. What you inspired has come full circle. Angels say when someone chooses courage because of your example, heaven marks your name beside their breakthrough. You were connected to it. This is why angels urge you not to minimize your role. You didn't just motivate someone, you reminded them of what was possible. That kind of reminder carries spiritual authority. The leap they took may have looked small to others, sending the application, leaving the unhealthy situation, choosing forgiveness, praying again after giving up. But in heaven, it was enormous. Because fear lost territory. Angels say fear retreats when faith stands up, even quietly. And now, because fear lost ground in their life, it is losing ground in yours. Do you feel the restlessness? The sense that something is changing? The feeling that you can't stay where you are anymore? That's not anxiety. That's alignment. Angels say you are being prepared for movement, that the same courage you inspired in someone else is now being mirrored back to you. You may soon face a decision that requires trust over certainty. And when that moment comes, remember this. You already taught someone how to jump. Now heaven will show you where to land. Angels want to reassure you that no leap made in faith goes unseen. Even if the outcome isn't immediate, the act itself rewires the future. Your life is proof of that. You kept going when it didn't make sense. You believed when results were slow. You stayed open when closing off would have been easier. And because of that, someone else dared to move. Angels say this is the sacred exchange of faith. What we carry through endurance becomes courage in someone else. And now the cycle continues. Angels say some of the most powerful work in your life happens out of your sight. If you had seen every impact you were making, pride might have crept in. If you had known every soul you were influencing, distraction might have pulled you away from your path. So heaven protected you with silence. You wondered why your efforts felt unnoticed, why no one applauded your growth, why your quiet faith didn't receive loud recognition. Angels say it wasn't neglect, it was covering. You were being shielded so your influence could remain pure. In the spiritual realm, attention can be dangerous when it arrives too early. Some blessings require humility to survive. And angels knew that if you were constantly aware of your effect, you might begin to measure yourself by reactions instead of obedience. So they allowed you to walk without feedback you mistook it for. Invisibility. Heaven called it trust. Training. Angels say you were learning how to keep going without validation, because your next season will require inner confidence, not external approval. This is why you didn't see the person watching you, why you didn't hear the prayers you were answering. Why you didn't know the leap of faith you inspired. If you had known, you might have tried to perform instead of simply leave. And performance has no power in the spiritual realm. Authenticity does. Angels say your life needed to remain unscripted. So they kept you unaware, not to deny you joy, but to preserve the mission. You were allowed to feel overlooked so that your heart could stay tender. You were allowed to feel forgotten so your faith could deepen. You were allowed to feel unsure so your trust could mature. And through it all, you kept going. That is why angels say your influence carries weight. You weren't fueled by applause. You weren't driven by recognition. You were sustained by conviction. That kind of strength cannot be manufactured. It is forged. You may have wondered why things seemed delayed, why breakthroughs didn't come when you expected them. Angels say timing was being adjusted to match your capacity, not your impatience. You were growing roots before bearing fruit. Because fruit seen too early can be destroyed by unprepared hands. Angels say heaven often hides progress until it can be protected. This is why your life felt quiet when others were celebrated, why your victories were private, why your growth was internal before it became visible. Angels were teaching you how to listen inward instead of looking outward. And now, because you learned that lesson, they are beginning to reveal what was hidden, not to boast, but to affirm. This message itself is part of that reveal. You are being allowed to glimpse the unseen impact, not so you can elevate yourself, but so you can stop doubting your worth. Because doubt was the only thing left trying to slow you down. Angels say the enemy of purpose is not failure, it is discouragement. And discouragement feeds on the belief that nothing you do matters. So, heaven interrupts that lie now. You mattered even when it felt quiet. You mattered even when no one said thank you. You mattered even when results were invisible. And the person who took that leap of faith was never meant to approach you or announce it. Their story was meant to remain unknown so your heart could stay clean. Influence without awareness creates integrity, and integrity invites favor. Angels say, this is why doors will begin opening in ways that feel undeserved. Opportunities will arise that seem unearned. Support will come from unexpected places, not because you manipulated outcomes, but because heaven remembers consistency. You may not have seen the work, but heaven did. Every time you chose patience, every time you chose grace, every time you chose faith over frustration. All of it was recorded. And now angels say it is time for you to rest in that truth. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to chase recognition. What is meant for you will recognize you. Angels say there are languages beyond words. Before you speak, before you act, before you even realize it, your energy speaks. Not the energy you force, but the one you carry naturally. The one shaped by everything you've endured, survived, forgiven, and refused to let harden your heart. Angels say this is why even in silence, your presence shifts atmospheres. You may walk into a room and feel eyes turn not because of attention, but because something unseen has entered. A calm, a steadiness, a quiet authority that cannot be explained. That is not coincidence. That is resonance. In the spirit realm, consistency creates a frequency. And your frequency has been tuned through endurance. Every time you chose peace over reaction. Every time you held faith while feeling uncertain. Every time you kept loving when bitterness was justified. Those choices shaped your spiritual sound. Angels say spirits recognize it immediately. That is why some people feel safe around you without knowing why. That is why others feel exposed or uncomfortable without explanation. That is why your presence either soothes or unsettles. Light does not argue. It reveals. You may feel tired lately, not physically, but deeply. A soul-level fatigue that rest doesn't fully cure. Angels say it's because you've been pouring without realizing it. Your empathy has been ministering. Your patience has been healing. Your steadiness has been grounding others. Even when you felt empty, heaven says, you were still giving. Angels want you to hear this clearly. Being drained does not mean you are weak. It often means you are effective. But effectiveness requires care. That is why angels are drawing your attention now. Not to burden you, but to teach you how to protect what flows through you. Your energy is not accidental. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. Your depth is not a disadvantage. It is a calling. Angels say you were designed to carry calm into chaos, clarity into confusion, and hope into rooms heavy with doubt. That assignment requires awareness. You cannot pour endlessly without replenishment. So heaven is inviting you into stillness, not isolation, but restoration. This is why you may feel pulled toward quiet moments, toward reflection, toward messages like this. Your spirit is recognizing nourishment. Angels say when you rest intentionally, your energy becomes sharper, not weaker. And understand this. Even when you say nothing, even when you feel unnoticed, your energy is still working. Someone's anxiety softened because you listened without fixing. Someone's fear eased because you stayed calm. Someone's faith strengthened because you didn't collapse. These things do not show up on the surface, but they echo deeply. Angels say the spiritual realm responds more to who you are than to what you do. That is why your presence inspired a leap of faith. Not your advice, not your words, but the peace you carried while walking through uncertainty. Peace in motion is powerful, and heaven says you are carrying more of it than you realize. You may sometimes wonder why certain people are drawn to you with their problems, why they open up unexpectedly, why they feel safe revealing what they hide from others. Angels say it's because your energy does not judge, it holds. That is rare. And because it is rare, it must be protected. Angels now gently warn you, do not allow everyone access to your inner space. Not everyone is meant to draw from you. Some are meant to observe from a distance. Discernment is not rejection. It is stewardship. Your energy is sacred. When you guard it, you don't lose compassion. You gain clarity. Angels say your next season will require you to be intentional about where you invest your presence. Not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Because what flows through you is needed where it will be received. Not drained. You are not here to save everyone. You are here to impact rightly. And now heaven is aligning you with environments where your energy will be returned, not consumed. This is why you may soon feel drawn away from certain spaces or conversations. Not because they are wrong, but because you have outgrown them. Angels say growth often feels like quiet. Separation. Trust it. Your energy is being refined, not reduced. Angels say nothing you have given was ever lost, not the love you offered. When you were tired. Not the patience you showed. When you were misunderstood, not the faith you held. When Answers were slow. Heaven keeps perfect. Account. What you released freely without expectation is now returning to you multiplied, not always in the same form, but with greater purpose. Angels want you to understand this. Returns from the spiritual realm rarely arrive loudly. They arrive aligned. You may begin to notice small shifts first. Conversation that opens a door. A sense of peace where anxiety used to live. A sudden clarity about a decision that once confused you. These are not random improvements. Are signals. The leap of faith someone else took because of you activated motion on your behalf. And motion in heaven always seeks balance. You poured courage into someone else's life. Now courage is being restored in yours. You modeled patience. Now timing is aligning for you. You carried hope. Now hope is preparing a place to land. Angels say this is why the season ahead will feel different. Not rushed, not forced, but guided. What returns to you will feel natural, like something clicking into place rather than something being chased. You may have been expecting a dramatic breakthrough, a sudden miracle, a loud announcement from heaven. But angels say your blessing will arrive wrapped in familiarity. It will feel like peace. That makes sense. Like support that arrives at the right moment. Like progress that doesn't cost you your soul. Because you learned how to walk without applause, heaven trusts you with quiet favor. Angels say the blessing returning to you is not only external, it is internal. You are receiving confidence that does not need approval, assurance that does not depend on outcomes. Faith that is no longer fragile. This inner strengthening is preparing you to receive more without losing yourself. And here's what angels want you to hear clearly. You are not behind. You never were. Your timing has been protected because your assignment required maturity. And maturity grows in seasons that feel slow. Now those seasons are shifting. Angels say opportunities will begin to present themselves without forcing. You will not have to convince, beg, or over-explain. What is meant for you will recognize your energy and respond. This is why you may soon feel less anxious about proving yourself. Less pressure to rush. Less fear of missing out. That calm is confirmation. Angels say the blessing returning to you carries peace with it, because anything that robs you of peace was never meant to stay. You may notice people treating you differently, respect increasing quietly, support appearing unexpectedly, not because you changed, but because alignment did. Heaven adjusted the environment to match who you have become. The leap of faith you inspired didn't just open doors, it cleared resistance. It softened hearts. It shifted spiritual permissions. And now those shifts are working in your favor. Angels say, do not question why good is arriving without struggle. Do not sabotage ease because you are used to resistance. Ease is not laziness. Ease is alignment. You have already done the hard part, becoming consistent when it mattered. Now allow the return. If something is being removed from your life right now, relationships, habits, expectations, do not panic. Angels say subtraction is making room. Cannot receive what is coming while holding what no longer fits. Trust the process. Angels say your reward is not just what you receive. It is who you are becoming in the receiving. You are learning how to accept without guilt, how to enjoy without fear, how to rest without apology. This is growth. This is why angels are guiding you to slow down and notice the blessings forming around you, even before they fully arrive. Because gratitude multiplies returns. Angels say every season of increase requires discernment, not because danger is everywhere, but because growth attracts attention. And not all attention is meant to stay. This warning is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to protect What is unfolding? As blessings begin to return. As peace settles more deeply, as alignment becomes clearer. Angels say you must guard your heart not with walls, but with wisdom. You may notice that not everyone celebrates your progress. Some will question it. Some will minimize it. Some will suddenly feel distant without explanation. Angels say this is not rejection. It is separation by alignment. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your next season. Some were assigned to your growth, not your future. And that is okay. Angels say, do not chase people who are uncomfortable with your peace. Do not shrink yourself to keep others familiar. What feels like loss is often release. Heaven removes what would distract you from what is forming. You may feel a pull to explain yourself, to justify your changes, to make others understand your direction. Angels gently say, clarity does not require permission. Those who are meant to understand will. Those who are not will drift. Your responsibility is not to convince, it is to remain grounded. Angels also warn you to be careful with your energy as your influence grows. As discussed before, your presence carries weight. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Discernment is not coldness. Boundaries are not unloving. Distance is sometimes divine. If you feel tired after certain interactions, pay attention. If peace leaves when someone enters, notice it. If doubt increases around certain voices, step back. Angels say your spirit already knows what your mind is trying to reason away. Listen inward. Another gentle warning angels offer. Do not rush decisions during moments of excitement. Blessings can feel energizing, but they still require patience. Speed without guidance creates confusion. Angels say move forward, but move centered. This is a season for intentional steps, not impulsive leaps. You've already inspired one leap of faith. Now it's time to walk steadily. Heaven values sustainability. Don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to say yes to every opportunity. You don't need to prove your worth by overextending. Rest is part of obedience. Angels also remind you to guard against self-doubt disguised as humility. There is a difference between staying grounded and denying your growth. If blessings arrive, receive them. If recognition appears, accept it. If peace deepens, trust it. Questioning goodness can delay it. Angels say the enemy of progress often whispers, you don't deserve this. But heaven replies, you are prepared for this. You've done the inner work. You've carried responsibility quietly. You've stayed faithful without reward. Now, trust the unfolding. One more warning, angels. Give gentle but important. Do not isolate completely. Protection does not mean withdrawal. You still need connection, but the right kind. Seek environments that refill you, not drain you. Choose voices that confirm peace, not stir confusion. You are not meant to walk alone, but you are meant to walk aligned. Angels say your next season includes support, but it may come from unexpected places. Be open without being naive. Warm without being unguarded. Balance is the key. If you feel a strong urge to simplify your life right now, your schedule, your relationships, your commitments, that urge is guidance. Simplicity creates clarity, and clarity sustains blessing. Angels say complexity is often the doorway through which peace leaks out. Choose simplicity. This warning is not a sign of danger, it is a sign of value. You protect what matters, and you matter. Angels say silence does not mean absence. Just because things feel quieter right now does not mean heaven has stepped back. In fact, angels say this is often when the most precise work is happening. You are still being used, even in moments when you feel ordinary, tired, or unsure. Especially then, there is a misconception that purpose always feels powerful. Angels gently correct that belief. Purpose often feels subtle. It feels like showing up when you'd rather retreat. It feels like choosing kindness when no one is watching. It feels like staying honest when shortcuts are available, and you are doing that. Even now, as you listen to this message, your presence here is activating something. Someone else is hearing courage in your steadiness. Someone else is feeling calm because you did not give in to chaos. Angels say, influence does not pause when attention fades. It deepens that you may not be in a season of visible results, but you are in a season of spiritual placement. Heaven is positioning you where your impact will last, not just impress. This is why you are being refined rather than rushed. Angels say, you are being trusted with quiet assignments. Assignments that don't come with applause, but come with authority. When you move through life with integrity, even unseen, it strengthens the foundation of what's coming next. And something is coming. You might feel it as a gentle pull forward. A sense that staying the same is no longer an option, but forcing change feels wrong. Angels say this tension is growth, preparing to express itself. Do not confuse stillness with stagnation. Stillness is where alignment settles. Even now, conversations you haven't had yet are being prepared. Opportunities you haven't imagined are being shaped. Support you didn't ask for is being arranged. Angels are coordinating details beyond your awareness. And they want you to release the fear that you are missing something. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. Timing is being protected. You may notice that people come to you unexpectedly, sharing thoughts they haven't shared with anyone else, or that your words land deeper than you intend. Angels say this is because your spirit is tuned to listen, not to dominate. Listening is a form of leadership. Leaders are often shaped quietly before they are recognized. Publicly, you are still being used in ways you cannot measure. Your calm prevents panic. Your steadiness slows chaos. Your patience invites clarity. These are not small things. Angels say heaven values what the world overlooks. This is why they urge you not to abandon your routines, your values, or your inner practices during quieter seasons. What you maintain now becomes the structure that holds you when momentum increases. Consistency is preparation. You may feel moments of doubt, rising questions like, am I doing enough? Or should I be further along? Angels say those questions are signals that your awareness is expanding, not that your progress is lacking. Expansion often feels uncomfortable before it feels exciting. Trust the discomfort. It is stretching you, not stopping you. Angels say your role right now is not to force clarity, but to remain receptive. Pay attention to what energizes you and what drains you. Follow peace, even when it doesn't make logical sense, yet peace is your compass. And know this, you are not only being used for others, you are being prepared for yourself. The wisdom you are gaining, the boundaries you are learning, the discernment you are developing, these are gifts you will soon need. Angels say you will look back on this season and realize it was not empty. It was intentional. You were being shaped to carry more without losing balance. To influence without ego. To receive without fear. This shaping takes time, and you are allowing it. Angels say this moment is not random. If you have been asking, sometimes silently, sometimes with frustration, am I on the right path? Did I make the right choices? Is any of this actually leading somewhere? This message is your confirmation. Not a vague sign, not a maybe, not a coincidence. Clear yes. Angels say doubt has been the final test, not because you were failing, but because you were close. Doubt often grows loud right before alignment becomes visible. You have questioned yourself because you care. You have reflected because you are intentional. You have paused because you refuse to move. blindly. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. Angels say your path was never meant to look obvious from the outside. It was designed to feel right on the inside, even when it confused others. Followed peace when logic demanded urgency. You chose integrity when shortcuts were offered. You waited when pressure told you to rush. Those decisions mattered. Heaven saw every one of them. Angels want you to release the belief that progress must always feel exciting. Some of the most important growth feels quiet, steady, and almost invisible while it's happening. But invisible does not mean ineffective. You are exactly where you need to be for what's coming. Next. Not ahead. Not behind. Aligned. If you have felt a strange mix of tiredness and anticipation, angels say that is confirmation too. It means one chapter is closing and another is preparing to open. Endings often feel heavier than beginnings because they carry everything you've learned. Angels say you are not repeating old cycles anymore. You may revisit familiar feelings, but you are responding differently. That is proof of growth. What once triggered fear now invites reflection. What once rushed you now slows you down. Once confused you now asks for patience. These shifts confirm maturity. Maturity attracts stability. Angels say the path ahead will not require you to abandon who you are. You are not being asked to become louder, harder, or less compassionate to succeed. You are being asked to become more yourself, without apology. That is your alignment. If you have felt a growing desire for authenticity, for simplicity, for meaning, for depth, angels say that desire is guidance, not restlessness. You are moving toward what fits, and heaven is supporting that movement. Angels also say this: do not measure your journey by timelines that were never assigned to you. Comparison distorts confirmation. Your timing is personal because your purpose is specific. What you carry requires preparation that others may not need, and what others carry may not require what you've endured. Trust your design. This confirmation is not just about direction, it is about permission. Permission to stop second-guessing every step. Permission to trust your instincts again. Permission to believe that your quiet faith has been enough, because it has. Angels say if you've been feeling drawn to messages like this repeatedly, it's because your spirit is learning to recognize truth faster than fear can interrupt it. That is growth. And now, angels ask you to receive this confirmation fully, not emotionally, but internally. Let it settle. You don't need to announce it. You don't need to prove it. You don't need to defend it. Just walk in it. The path ahead will clarify as you move, not before. Light follows motion, and you are moving. Angels say that every message, every insight, every whisper of guidance is not meant to end quietly. It is meant to connect, to inspire, to continue. You have listened. You have felt. You have understood the weight of your influence, the courage you inspire, the blessings returning, and the confirmation you have received. And now, heaven invites you to participate not in obligation, but in alignment. If this message spoke to your soul, it is a reminder that connection amplifies purpose. Angels say your engagement is not just action, it is energy. When you choose to respond, you are opening channels for more inspiration, more healing, and more messages that can change lives. So take a moment and consider these simple, powerful steps. Every like is more than a click. Angels say it is a signal and recognition that messages like this matter. It is a light sent into the world, letting others who are searching for hope know they are not alone. When you like this video, you are participating in the flow of encouragement. You are saying, I see this truth, I acknowledge it, and I allow it to move forward. This is not pride. This is stewardship. Your engagement helps the angel's message reach the people who need it most. Every person touched is a ripple of hope in the world. Commenting is more than words. It is an outward expression of your inward acknowledgement. Angels say, speaking your truth, even in a short sentence, strengthens your own faith and reminds others they are not alone. Write something as simple as "I receive" or "I trust the process." When you comment, you are affirming your journey and creating a spiritual echo. Your words may reach someone who has been silently watching, doubting, waiting for a sign. They will see your comment and think, if they believe, maybe I can too. Angels say your courage becomes their encouragement. Subscribing is not just about staying updated. It is about alignment. Angels say subscribing creates a connection to a flow of guidance that is intentional and consistent. Every time you subscribe, you are choosing to remain in a circle of inspiration, truth, and divine messages. You are choosing to say yes to ongoing encouragement that can affect not only your life, but the lives of everyone you influence. Heaven rejoices when you stay engaged with messages that uplift your spirit. The angels celebrate every choice you make to align with divine encouragement. Angels say that every like, comment, and subscription is more than digital, it is spiritual. It is a movement of energy. It is a way to participate in the ripple effect of faith, courage, and love. You have just been reminded of your impact. Someone has taken a leap of faith because of you. Imagine what could happen if your acknowledgement now multiplies that ripple. Your engagement does not stop with you. It travels further, reaching souls in need of guidance, reassurance, and courage. Every click, every comment, every subscription is an act of alignment with heaven's work. It is a choice to participate in the chain of blessing. Angels say, those who stay connected will not miss what is coming. The seeds planted through faith, courage, and endurance will grow in ways they never imagined. The whispers of heaven are moving, and you are part of it. By engaging with this channel, you are choosing to honor the work that has already begun in your life. You are choosing to acknowledge the unseen influence you carry. You are choosing to receive and multiply blessings. Remember, the person who took a leap of faith because of you is only the beginning. Your life, your energy, your faith, your participation now can help inspire countless others. Angels say, do not underestimate the power of your acknowledgement. Your light can awaken hope in places that feel impossible. As you click like, comment, or subscribe, know that heaven sees you. Angels celebrate your courage, your endurance, your faith. You are being used, you are being prepared, and your influence is still in motion. And most importantly, angels remind you, stay faithful, stay kind, stay aligned, and watch how the blessings return in ways beyond your imagination. This is not the end. This is a new beginning. Your journey continues. Your impact expands, and heaven is always with you.